This is a Podco original.
I do remember understanding that you coming onto our show might be uncomfortable because we're all so homies, and the girls on our show might not be overly making sure you feel at home.
There were only two of them.
Yes, exactly.
Lindsey
One's
and
here and
Christian
Christian
Serratos.
Serratos. And I remember just understanding that you might not be
Totally welcome.
Open arms.
Like, I will say, like, the transition out was, like, rough, just
Right?
acting-wise. Like, it just felt like, I don't know. I remember working with, like, an acting coach, and she was like, yeah, we got to get this out of you. Like, we gotta work this out. Like, this isn't gonna work anywhere else unless you're doing Disney. And even Disney's like its own thing. And, and at that point, I was like, I don't really want to be doing Disney either. So it was kind of like, yeah. So that transition was fun.
Do you remember wrestling with Devon?
All the time, yes.
What were we doing?
Devon.
Sexual.
Tell us about
what was
it.
happening there?
I don't know.
Let's all wrestle
fun.
together.
Also, like, but
what the fuck?
So wait, 2-on-1? It was a little
Yes.
2-on-1 action?
There was just a lot of
Who came out on top?
There was a lot of
I sang at your
I'm
wedding.
just
We
giving
didn't
him a
even
hard
get to
time,
that. I
you sang at my wedding,
Carlie's
but
wedding.
you can't.
You sang at the wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
I sang at Carlie's wedding.
And it was so profound that, like, truly, you know, the people who are seemingly often, like, unmoved by something, like, literally, people came up to us after and was like, that was the most beautiful. And I was like, yeah, I know, he's the shit. Like, it really
that's
was
why you asked me
so
to do it.
special. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, we are on a podcast.
At it.
Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide. We have a special guest in
Super
studio.
special.
But
Like and subscribe.
Before we tell you,
Subscribe.
we drop a special audio episode on wherever you get your podcasts on Fridays.
Yeah, we appreciate you, and it would mean a lot to us if you subscribe.
Anyway, in studio today,
The lovely
Ned's Declassified alumni, Missy Meany herself, Carlie
Carlie
Casey.
Casey.
Hi.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Most of
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, woo! Hi.
Yay!
Hello.
Nice to
Hello,
have
hello.
you on. Nice to have you in
Thanks,
here.
guys. Feels a little bit like a time warp.
Right?
Doesn't it?
Weird.
Oh, she's got that same voice. Isn't it so amazing,
that
people?
deep.
We actually just got to your
First
first
episode.
episode on
Yes.
our rewatches.
Pep rallies.
And I didn't remember you had to rhyme the whole
The
time.
whole time.
Yeah, your whole first
But I
episode.
don't remember that either.
You're rhyming like in cheerleader speak. The whole
whole-
every line.
And I'm sure I did it so well.
Right?
Honestly, you did.
No.
Yeah,
He'll
honestly, you
break
did.
his arms, limbs, and cheeks. If he misses this dunk, he'll miss your class for weeks.
First off, the memory on you.
I mean,
what? But
I did my research.
I actually don't remember that.
No,
It's fair.
I did not remember that bit at all.
I didn't either. I didn't remember. Oh, first episode on, we're gonna have a rhyme everything.
Well, I'm curious how far Scott thought that through. Like, what,
Right,
like did he
right.
think that was going to be forever?
By the second
I
episode, he's
feel
like,
like maybe for a time.
But
Yeah.
my two visceral memory, when I was like, I was like going back into the files, and I was like, my visceral like first episode like where the first was like when, because isn't there a slight routine that like I
Yes.
mean, and we're saying so slight though, like it's
no,
like because I remember
There
like,
was choreography,
there
there
was
was
no
cheerleading
promise on my
choreography.
end when I auditioned that I could do, or at least maybe I lied. Honestly, maybe I lied. Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Because I was such a tomboy. Like there's no part of me that's a cheerleader, which just makes it so stupid and funny. But I remember it was like, okay, we're gonna do that, and I was like, no. And your sister, God bless her, was like, we got this. Like we're gonna. But all I see, like when I think of it, I'm just thinking of me being like, this is not natural. This is not natural.
You didn't look nervous.
No.
You were Missy Meany from the moment we saw
the jump.
You honestly nailed it. We
I totally feel you there, having to go and do something like that on a new fucking set, like in front of people.
Oh
Like,
my! Yeah, no, wait,
holy
people are gonna.
crap.
And then the other was I was standing on top of a table, I believe.
Yes,
you
that
were.
was the one.
And I remember Scott coming up to me, and it was like the end of the day, and that beautiful animated face, and he was like, "You can't go too big. There's no ceiling here. Like you can't go too." Because I was still kind of doing like I don't know, like other auditions outside
Yes.
of Nickelodeon Disney where you're having to be like very real. Like,
Yes.
yeah. And he was like, no. Like, fuck that. Like, go nuts. And then I think I eventually got there, but I just remember being like, okay, all right.
No, that's so funny. That I actually remember, like that's triggering my memory of that of, you're coming on second season. We know what the tone is.
Totally.
You got to catch up to what the tone is.
100%. It was
and it's,
terrifying.
well, because Ned's tone is bigger than anything you'll ever do in acting otherwise ever.
And like the come off when we stopped, there was some auditions where I was like, this is a soap opera. This is the wrong thing. Like, oh my God.
And then like you're coming in and it's not like you're like walking, talking down the hall. It's like on this table. Rhyme.
Rhyme
Like,
every line.
Dance.
Like, I really don't remember the rhyming thing.
I didn't either.
We just covered it.
We just watched it.
I was assigned to reread it, so I had to really like lock in and
And it
there
was
a lot of
all
rhyming.
rhymes.
You pretty much had your first episode with Daniel. Like that was y'all were.
Yeah, because there was the thing with Coach Durga. You're trying to prevent me from doing my big slam dunk thing. And
Right? Come on, dude.
There's this line where I'm telling Ned and Mose that I'm about to do the slamma jamma for the pep rally and it's gonna be epic. And they're like, wait, how did you get Missy Meany to approve this thing? And I'm like, I went over her head. And we cut to you petitioning to Coach Durga to not let me do it. And I'm just over your head, like
Literally standing over your head.
So dumb.
So dumb, but so cute.
Yeah.
so cute.
Sorry, Daniel. What were you saying?
Oh no, just how was it joining this pre-existing family? Like, was it weird?
It was a little hard just because, but like, I mean, we talked about this a little bit on your podcast. Now having like the wisdom of an adult looking back, I'm like, of course it was kind of hard. But like, because it was like, I was so ingrained in like school and all of that. And then coming into a show that not only is that age just kind of rough in general, you guys had already built 100% like the family of what it was, that I truly felt like an imposter from like jump. It was like, maybe if I could just sneak in and sneak out. And then Scott was like, yeah, we think we're going to have you back. And like actor me was like, sick. But the other part of me was like, oh boy, okay. Okay.
I gotta keep this act up.
But I mean, I don't think that, it didn't last long, but there was just an initial, I will say, I'll give it to you. You were great, other than what originally I hated you for, was we were in line again. I think it was the first episode. We were like in a lunch line, I think. Mm-hmm. God, memory is weird. It's like just like little snapshots.
Right,
I don't remember
right,
any of the lines, but I just like whatever. And little you, it was like kind of like walking around like a little shit. And you were like, you're taller in person than on your video. And it was like your little way of being like, I saw your audition video. And I remember being like, oh my God. Like, I didn't think anyone saw it. And then later on, you were like, yeah, I straight up, I saw your audition video, like, blah, blah, blah. And it just freaked me out so bad. So first you were a dick, but then.
Right?
But then you were great.
He was all right. He was all right.
But that, like, I remember I was like, that happens. They show audition tapes to the other.
Damn, you smoked it
Sometimes.
up. Oh my gosh, we passed it around the office, man.
Wait, did you like support her? Or were you like, oh, would be great for this?
Yeah, like, do you
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's.
I remember occasionally, like if I was over in that office and someone was watching the tapes, like sometimes Scott would be like, "Hey, you want to check it out? Like this is someone for right? Like they like showed you
Logan
and
for my
but
girlfriend,
they didn't. It wasn't them asking.
Interesting.
It wasn't them asking my opinion. I think I just happened to be over there when they were watching something, and they're like, "Yeah, we think she's going to be a new cast member." I do remember understanding that you coming onto our show might be uncomfortable because we're all so homies, and the girls on our show might not be overly making sure you
girls?
feel at home.
There were only two of them.
Yes, exactly.
Lindsey
One's
and
here and
Christian
Christian
Serratos.
Serratos. And I remember just understanding that you might not be
Totally welcome
open
with open arms.
And that was true, but it moved quickly.
It did.
yeah,
But it
yeah.
wasn't. I will never forget. And I truly actually don't remember exactly who said it, but I remember when we were in like the lunch or after lunch, and we were playing. You guys were playing.
Yeah, the video game room.
Some were playing Halo. The rest were watching.
I
because
know.
how absolutely riveting,
Right?
For the rest of us.
Oh my
And I
God.
was just kind of like sitting there, like, and then I truly actually don't remember. I think I like blacked out whoever said it, but it was like, guys, let's play a game. Like, if we had to kill someone in this room, who would it be? And I remember being like,
that.
I remember being like, well, guys,
No,
it's me.
Wait, Christian
that was
obviously said
Yeah,
that.
for sure. And I think I was
Yes.
on
Yes.
yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no. I remember.
I was
That
on the
fucking
chopping block
Christian, yo.
too. I didn't like that. I think I got
super
killed that day
naive.
as well.
You know what?
At first.
It was you and I then. I was like, the second it was said, I was like, this
It's gonna
is
be me.
about me.
Yeah, no, that was an
would we
insane.
kill here?
That was an insane thing to
That
say by
has to be
Christian.
from Christian,
It
right?
was. It was
Okay.
for sure
Okay.
Christian.
I truly don't remember. I just remember, all I remember
I
is
do.
hearing it and feeling that little tummy drop of like, well, Carlie, this is just what it is.
And
Hey,
I
hey.
was this stupid little like minion of Christian, so I was like, "What do I do?" That was fucking weird. But
You
like,
just wanted to be cool. It's okay.
Your friend, yeah, that's it.
we all just wanted
I,
it to be cool.
I felt like I remember that moment, and that was it. Is like I was like, that was a fucking insane thing to say, Christian. So I remember just making a point of like letting you know you are welcome, like with
And then you played
fucking
the game.
cast.
He's like, well, you're
And
welcome
then-
here, but
Hey,
No hard
you're
feelings.
welcome to become friends with us, but you dead.
For the rest of
that
lunch.
might have even been said. Being older now, like I and to be honest, I wasn't. I remember, like I certainly wasn't angry. I
No.
understood I understood the complexity of it, and I also understood that, like, of course, boys are gonna be like, hey, it's a new girl. Like, of course, it would be a little easier to just immediately be like
Sure.
friendly,
Right.
just because it was like, there's a new face here. So it's like it made sense to me, and we moved past it very quickly.
Yeah.
But like the first episode was a little weird,
Yeah.
for sure. Like just a little.
Yeah,
Right,
because
right.
you
And then-
definitely pretty quickly like you were
Very
part of
quickly.
the
Yeah.
fucking
But
then,
part
yeah.
of them.
Like Christian didn't come along. She stayed out in the cold.
Oh, well, once the transition happened, you're right. Because then you guys were more buddy.
Right. And
Oh, that's a dynamic change.
I was like, let me switch teams. No, I like you as my leader better. You go. You
You
go.
know what? And then I think I became more of Christian's friend after that a little bit more. Yeah. She was a little bit more open after you guys kind of X'd her out.
I don't think they
didn't
X'd her
X
out. I
anybody
think
out.
Christian X'd
herself
herself
out, man.
I do feel like I mean, I really do think once, because did anyone else after me join in like a more consistent way? I don't remember.
Michelle, but
Oh,
she was
Michelle
in and
a little,
out.
yeah.
But, like,
Logan- no
consistently.
one came. I don't think no one became like crew.
Because I
after
feel
that.
like after that, like, I mean, of course, it's that age. There were highs and lows. There was drama here and there. But that
Yeah.
being said, I feel like very quickly it did kind of just turn into like everybody there. I don't think, I mean, I can't speak for anyone else, but like, I don't think anyone was feeling completely like,
Oh,
out in the
no,
wilderness, like at all.
No,
I-
no, no,
if-
no, no,
You know what I mean? Like,
No,
yeah,
we
it
just
wasn't
all
that.
hung out every weekend after because we were crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that was, but I never remember being like, oh, so and so was like really like I felt like we were pretty like inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah, even our drama was very
Yeah.
mild. It wasn't.
It was very
wasn't-
middle school, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, that
very
part,
middle
that
school.
part.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was very slight. Even the Christian shit we're talking about, like
yeah,
it wasn't big or loud or dramatic,
No.
and it's not like we were all homies with Christian.
Yeah.
By the
it
way,
was-
same shit that was going on in middle school, like where
Yes.
I was actually going to school, just like with the added dynamic of like we're actors and we're working, and it's
Yeah.
That
the
that was
weird-
the nice weird part of Neds was when people asked like, did you miss out on childhood? And like for sure, being a child actor, there's different things that we went through, but
Yeah.
Neds itself had enough of that
For
real
sure.
school,
Yeah.
20 children like
Yeah.
running around. Like there was enough of that reality. Yeah.
Have you guys talked about all the shit we did for lunch that we then got kicked off of doing? And then the next thing, I was
touched on
thinking
it.
about it, and it was like, we were menaces. Like what I recall was first tag on set until we broke something, and then it was like, which it was like the fact that we were ever allowed
I
to do
think
that.
Kyle
was
tripped
amazing.
over like a fucking light,
I
like an
think- no, it was
expensive.
definitely expensive.
light.
Yeah, definitely expensive.
It wasn't just because we were too sweaty. It was a light.
No, it was
I think Kyle literally hit like a light.
It had to have been expensive.
They
'cause I
talked about
remember
the sweat to get us to
response-
cool down.
Right,
I think
right.
after that, because we kept playing other things.
Yeah.
Right.
So I remember that. I might be missing something. I remember that. Then I remember flag football, but then this here, sir,
Hit the grate.
hit the grade. Your jeans were ripped, and there was like a little blood. And I remember it was like no, like it was like it was
my costume jeans and
And
a
we were
little
all
bit
like-
of blood.
Bruh. But that was like done. It was like game over.
No
then
more
it
football.
was foosball. And then I think Kyle broke one.
Kyle kicked the fucking leg and broke the leg.
my
of the foosball.
God.
Yeah, we were making that man very upset.
Like Kyle had a lot to work through.
Go there for a second. Can't you actually remember the feeling of him going like I remember literally being like, I don't want to play. Like the balls would like fly. Like we just couldn't do anything normally. It was like everything was like
Everything
Kyle
was
was
heightened.
there.
Well,
Oh, yeah, he
I
wanted to
only
win.
remember joy from playing. Like when Kyle would get angry, it was because he was playing Daniel
the
and
only
I.
reason I played.
And that brought me great joy.
Yeah.
The more you would laugh,
Hi.
the
The
worse
only
it
reason
would
I
get
played.
for him.
The more he would take it seriously and I'd break things in real life, Daniel and I
Yeah.
were just like,
Eating it up. Yes, the payoff.
This is
he was very
amazing.
big on fair. I do remember that. Like if he felt there was something unjust, we heard about it.
Daniel.
But it's because you keep saying that while I'm trying to spin the ding. I can't. How am I supposed to spin the ding?
Maybe you just don't have to talk so much shit, Daniel.
Yeah, he just wanted me to just sit. I was like, I can be quiet. I'll be quiet. And
I'll
do this.
beat you in silence.
Yeah, you're gonna hate it even
He
more,
was
dude.
so vulnerable in his anger, though.
Yes,
so
yes,
vulnerable.
Yes, agreed.
It was almost like you couldn't look at it. You were
Got
like,
him.
oh my God.
No, it
dude.
was sincere. There was a sincerity.
So sincere. He
And he was
not a
actually
bad
skilled
guy.
at
He
a
was
lot of
just
things,
really
but it's like,
frustrated.
Yes,
hey, we're-
that is a great note.
we built different.
That's very true. It was very sincere.
That was only child vulnerability. He's like, wait, you can't beat me. I've never been beaten before.
Yeah.
But then what was that? Did we watch Cops for a sec?
You guys watch Cops. We talked
Daniel
about this.
had a problem.
Daniel
watching
didn't
Cops.
like Cops.
Yeah.
I do recall being
I
like,
didn't
this is particularly a choice.
Strange.
But I was,
Yeah.
it wasn't,
I
certainly didn't turn it
fully
off.
remember that.
It was short.
Cops
It was like
very
the first
short.
thing we did.
Yeah,
felt like.
this is
I'm
clearly
sure I
not
wasn't
in
there
order.
for most of it too. Yeah, I think I just walked away.
But I don't. After that, I don't really like. I don't
Daniel,
know.
did you
just
feel
start doing
further
normal
away from
things?
us when those things happened?
Oh, what, watching Cops?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just something. You know, it's in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, it looks like the same people keep getting thrown in the back of this car. I don't know.
Did you feel something like towards us? We're like watching that, maybe not including
towards,
you.
but you know, it was like just. Hey, everybody has to grow up and realize that American culture is American culture, and the things that people like to watch, they like to watch, and it is tied to some sad realities in.
Damn, Daniel, that heartfelt answer.
Yeah. I mean,
no,
because it's
I love
honest,
it.
I couldn't be upset with you guys for watching something
Yeah.
that entertains you.
Right, but I'm that like
Hey.
the separateness or the whatever.
Separate, but it happens. Everybody separated for
Yeah.
whatever reasons. Like you know, you had your own experience with just coming into a
Right.
pre-existing
Right.
situation. Like
I don't fully remember.
I would
I don't
have
remember
taken
it
that
being-
to heart. That's why I ask. I would have blamed you until the end of time. Yep.
I only actually have one memory of it. So it might have gone on more than that, but I only have one memory of it. Just being like sitting there, like, huh, like this is what we're doing now.
Wow.
we sit here and watch Cops.
And they are
What is it?
rapt attention. I mean,
But
back
also
to
those
Halo.
rooms were so tiny
Yeah.
and hot
Yeah.
that I feel like maybe that's why it also didn't last, because it was just those rooms were not particularly comfortable to
No,
do
Right.
those
this time.
our little
Right.
sweaty green rooms.
Oof.
No.
Woof.
Nah, Halo was the best.
Yeah.
Wait,
and then
great.
third
Did we
season,
go
I
back
remember
to
that.
Halo? What, or no?
Halo
I feel like
the
Halo
truth.
was kind
Soul
of.
Calibur ended up coming up. That was
Soul
another one we
Calibur.
played. Yeah.
But so much time was spent watching them play.
I mean,
because
I'm
I
guilty
somehow,
of it.
I somehow, 100%. I'm like, but I remember I would like when I would play, you guys were like, you were annoyed because I was so bad. Like I would have negative kills and you're like, we didn't even know that was possible. And I'm like, I too didn't know that was possible. I'm just trying. Hi, I'm trying. But, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Good old
Yeah, I could not get the gist of that.
No,
even
still
to save my
can't.
life.
Still can't.
Can't do
Still
it.
won't.
Can't do
Got
it.
a couple
Can't.
kills. I remember. You got a couple.
Couple.
If you remember them, then that means they didn't happen
Yeah.
often.
Not very memorable if you remember them.
I remember
Oh my
those
gosh.
kills. Oof.
Dude.
Wow.
I remember. Wait. No, am I tripping? Did you have like your hair braided at one point? I don't know why. There was and this is a little too specific. Like, why
I
do you remember
hope
all
so
this?
now.
No, I thought that you were Russian at one point.
No, you're right. You're
Yes.
right.
No,
You
this is
are
a thing. It's a
absolutely
thing.
right.
It's a
because
thing.
you just said I thought you were Russian at one point, and I do remember you thinking I was Russian at one point.
Yeah, but why? Why am I thinking of braids?
I
that made
think
me
I
think that?
did. It was just like
the-
just like.
the
And I thought that was
character.
Russian for some reason. I don't know.
I do weirdly remember that now.
Weirdly, it was like
That is one of the strangest.
It's such a strange memory.
But
But
is
that
you
is how some of the memories feel because
Right,
it's been
it's
so
all
long.
right.
Sometimes
Body.
it's
Dude,
like
that's
fever-
that's
yeah.
part of this podcast.
Yeah.
Every guest we have on, like Neds is so long ago that we all have like these weird patches of memory.
Carlie, did you relate to your character in any way?
Not even like a little bit.
Were you ever
I'm-
cliquish like in high school? No.
In fact, I was like, I took it upon myself to be like, I have to be friends with every single person because if every single person likes me, then I'm okay. Like
Okay,
that
to
was
survive.
way more of it.
Yeah.
Like I know. So that's truly like, I'm like, I don't know how I got that part in any shape or form. My voice doesn't match what you would imagine. Like none of it. Because
Really
when I went to
doesn't?
the audition, it was literally like the cutest girls around me with like mice voice. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like just like the highest pitch. And I literally remember looking at my dad and being like, this is not happening. This isn't happening. And then I think I even like fucked up my audition, but I knew Harriet, so like we had fun or whatever. But like I just remember being like, nope. And then when I got the call, I was like, that had to be a joke because like I don't fit this at all. But I guess it kind of worked in a weird way just because it wasn't fully. I mean, I was blonde and stuff. I'm not like
Right.
But I don't. Yeah, no.
No, watching
Wow.
it back, like, you know, we rewatch for this and it's things I haven't seen in so long. Watching it back, like, no. You nail it first episode. Like you're the new bitchy blonde girl because we kicked
Yeah.
Spencer out of there, right? She booked something.
Did you know you were replacing someone?
I did, and
And
I
she's
knew her.
homies with
I'm friends
Spencer.
with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, but I really had to, in my own brain, look at it as like this is a different thing because that felt weird to me. Like the idea of like that's always felt weird to me. I remember like years later there was a sitcom. I don't remember what it was, but one of the actors was leaving and they were auditioning people, and I was like, I don't think I can do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like to me, I was like, it has to be different, at least in my own brain. Because
Right.
if I feel like I'm playing someone else playing something, it just like
and
doesn't.
Missy was different. You weren't.
She was.
You
Yeah,
weren't,
yeah.
You weren't taking over the character. You're just kind of taking over the archetype.
100%.
Yeah, but it's so funny you knew Spencer.
So funny, yeah.
But yeah, no, you were it from that first episode from Pep Rallies. I was like, oh yeah, no wonder they fucking cast her. Like, yeah, you're the bitchy blonde girl. You do it very well, Carlie.
Yeah. Very, very well.
Yeah.
Love that.
What are your memories from like being done with like Ned's ending and like moving on from it?
Well, we all just like cried all the time, I feel like, for a while. Prom was just like, did anyone have fun? Because we were all crying.
Are you kidding?
had a
All
blast.
I
No,
remember from
the best.
prom.
It was the best, but I feel like all the photos
All
are
I
just
remember
like
from prom
Right, what are you-
is afterwards sitting in the car with you and your dad was driving and we were at like some like we were getting food or some shit. I was about to stay over and we were just like, it's over. Like I just remember this moment in the back seat.
I literally just keep picturing like photos from it that we probably collaged or something.
Yeah.
Everyone, and I keep saying everyone was crying, but it was probably just you and I. Like
Everyone was so
sobbing.
sad.
And they're like
Sobbing.
whatever, see
Yeah.
you tomorrow. But no,
Daniel's
but
never cried.
Later, losers.
She in the funny papers, nerds.
But like I will say, like the transition out was like rough, just
Right?
acting wise. Like it just felt like I don't know. I remember working with like an acting coach, and she was like, "Yeah, we got to get this out of you. Like we gotta work this out. Like this isn't gonna work anywhere else unless you're doing Disney, and even Disney's like its own thing. And,
No,
and
that
at that
Ned's
point, I was
tone.
like, I don't really want to be doing Disney either. So it was kind of like, yeah. So that transition was fun.
I mean, oof.
Yeah. That Ned's tone, man,
Is so
literally-
specific.
Yeah.
So specific.
we all got it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so many auditions where they're like, too big. I think
Yeah.
you mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like in some of our recent,
I mean, Harriet Greenspan said I couldn't carry a movie after Neds was over.
Dang.
and she was the best actress out of all of us.
You couldn't carry a movie if it was in a handbag.
It was like about sharks or some shit, and I was like, "Are you
Where did
She
you
was
even
casting
hear
for
that she said
Sharknado.
that?
from my
from your
manager?"
Oh,
No, I just don't think. I just don't think she can carry this movie. I don't think she can carry a movie. Ensemble forever. I just remember being like, I just have to keep going forward. I don't know what else to do.
Dang. That's
I was
tough.
so offended.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Holy shit.
I've noticed with us in some of our recent like ads and videos for this pod, like not on the pod, but some of our ads and like TikToks, like I feel like we're like naturally finding this like Nedmo's cookie tone
Oh,
again.
dangerous.
Like there's
It's
like
dangerous.
a tone that's poking through that feels like it's been shoved down and it's like
letting it
coming back, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm becoming Ned again.
The bangs just grow back.
Oh my god.
Shitty bang.
Shitty
bangs
happening.
Oh,
Are creeping back
sweet,
in.
sweet hair.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Wait, please can we
Who
do a
let
TikTok
me
like that?
have hair like that on television?
Okay,
Bruh.
but to be fair, then think of like the hair you
Biebs.
chose in between films.
Oh.
I say that with love in my
I know
heart.
you
Like
do.
the long.
Yeah.
Or like the,
Yeah.
you know, like the
No, you're right.
you know,
Even
that was
then,
that was the time where guys were doing like that thing, and you were the king of that because you had the perfect.
Nah, dude.
yeah, when I met Rihanna, I had spoken about when I.
Nah, dude.
So I just had a visceral response to that. That's real. You did
mean-
that. Not-
Yep. That Rihanna Kids' Choice Award, that photo of me not only wearing terrible things, but I had my full feather, like long
it was
hair.
feather
but
is the right word.
But it was just
feathered.
like
it was Farrah.
because my hair's
Inspired.
straight, but not that straight. Just
Yeah,
like
it had
me.
a little bit.
Hey, that was a zinger. That was bars.
Where when it grows long, it starts to
Feather.
bend a little bit.
Long
you
hair
know what
don't
I mean?
care.
It's that Italian like
I don't
Renaissance
know, man.
in you.
To be fair, I told you my memory sucks. I'm like, someone once said, I don't remember the specifics of things.
Someone once said.
recently though, like, I don't know why they like Googled me, but they saw an image of like all of us, and they were like, Carlie, this outfit you're wearing, and I was like, yeah.
It was the early 2000s. Fuck you, bitch.
I was like, okay,
Dang.
I was like, you need to put this a little bit in context. So now I just shit on you, and now I'm like making an excuse for me. So
Perfect.
just ride with it. Ride with it. This is
Dude,
different.
you were always so cool. Like you had all your stuff. You were uploading on like I don't know. Like, do you remember the photo shoots we used to do?
Okay,
Good God.
But can I say, perhaps nostalgia has given it a glow, but some of them were dope.
kind of great.
What photos?
I don't
you
know where
Do you
they
mean on
are now.
photo booth, like on
No,
Mac?
No.
Don't belittle.
We had timers on cameras.
We had outfits. We were in a fountain at
Excuse me.
That's always what I think of. We were
like
flashing around in a
midnight.
fountain like
What?
I gotta see this.
dresses. I'm sure we can find it. Like I'm
Yes.
positive
This is
we
also
had to.
before. This is before you
That's
needed
what makes
photos.
our
to
Yeah, what are you
post.
gonna do? You open an actual photo book, physical photo book, and show people?
MySpace. It was my
Yeah,
MySpace.
we were uploading them, dude.
Oh, MySpace.
Okay, I
Ahead of
think
the time.
Facebook was just like.
Just coming,
You know
just
what I mean?
coming out. MySpace, Facebook.
it was
Secondly,
MySpace.
Do you remember wrestling with Devon?
all the time. Yes.
What were we?
Why
That,
did
Oh,
the
Devon.
sexual.
Tell us about
what was
it.
happening? There?
I don't know.
Let's all
sounds
wrestle
fun.
But
together.
also, like, but
what the fuck?
So wait, 2-on-1? It was a little
Yes.
2-on-1 action?
Yes.
there was just a lot of
Who came out on
wrestling.
top?
There was a lot of
wrestling.
There was so much.
I would love to
wrestling.
sit here and say no. It was a weird age.
We were
but it was
hormonal
weird.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Like,
you
we
gotta
were
get it out
literally
somehow.
But also good for you for like
Yeah, good
figuring
stuff.
that out
Serious.
because it wasn't bizarrely normal. activity.
It was actually very normal.
Who kicked it off? Did you just come in?
I
Hey,
don't
let's
remember
wrestle.
that. It's like it's all about
Right?
I just
Want to
remember-
wrestle?
Yeah, like I'm coming over to wrestle, guys. Like what?
Because hearing you say want to wrestle makes me kind of want to look.
No,
good.
because it was never me being like, you
Okay,
two.
but we-
I was always like wrestle. Babe, I'm pretty sure
it was.
we did.
I
It
love
was.
wrestling.
It was you two
Like-
being like, we can fight you.
Oh, that is what it was.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh
we
my
were in that
God.
weird, yes.
Yeah, that age,
Yep.
the girl guy thing of being like, we can
that is
fucking
100%.
take you.
That is
Absolutely.
And you guys were tomboy types.
Exactly.
Like, y'all were a
Yes.
different type of
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
regular female.
And they were like,
Yeah.
Devin's a little nerd. We could beat him up.
But
also we're attracted to him, so maybe we could get a little touching.
We had to have won though, right? Like how was that? Like I
No
don't
way.
ever remember like holding them down.
I
didn't remember us wrestling.
Are you?
I mean, I remember us wrestling, but I didn't remember us.
Are you kidding? I remember the photo. We were wearing you were wearing
You guys
a
took a
custom-made,
photo and you set the
like,
timer
wife
and
beater
then
that was
wrestled?
cut off at the stomach, and we had written things on it. And I had my hair like in the weird bun.
I know, I do remember
Yeah.
that. I mean, we were all like, we were homies.
Yeah,
we would hang out
100%,
off
100%.
set. We were
That's
kids.
what I mean. Is
we
it
do
really?
all
it's
sorts
like,
of weird shit.
In the
man.
moment, nothing about it felt strange.
No,
now I'm
it
like,
wasn't.
we were funny kids.
We were kids.
We were going through our own
Do
art
you
school.
remember the
Yeah.
music video we made?
Dude, I was
Excuse
just
me?
about to mention that.
Baby got back.
Where
is that?
Where is it though?
MySpace?
Wait, we shot it on set, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Ugh.
That's why I'm so sad that I don't know where it is because it was on. I think Theo might have been in it.
Ooh.
Oh, and just fun trivia
Daniel.
for the real Neds fans out there. It's an episode that actually gets brought up to me a lot because I make music. So people always, they're like, Ned played music. The Everclear guy was your teacher and he taught you guitar.
That was
Boop, boop, boop.
wild.
But we
Boop,
had
boop,
the
boop,
lead
indeed.
singer of a big band in the 90s called Everclear. He played the music teacher on the episode teaching Neds.
Coolest dude to walk the planet.
Yeah,
Art Alexakis.
Alexakis.
Coolest dude.
Carlie's first acting? Was it first?
Well,
You were a baby
I was
child.
Weirdly,
Oh
I was
my
talking about,
God.
and my teeth. Do you remember my teeth?
So Carlie's in a big Everclear music
was
video
me
at
in the
like
music
Isn't
video.
she in like a weird
6 years
room
old,
with
I
like
swear.
dark ass lighting? Where is she?
You're thinking of the shot where my teeth look like this because they lit it as if they hated me. It's the last shot of the music video. It feels hateful. It feels like there was hate in their hearts. I'm like thinking along with my teeth.
It feels hateful.
With my
It
teeth.
felt hateful. It
How,
felt intense.
how old were you in that?
Don't ask me that.
Okay,
young,
but
very young.
Carlie's
very,
a
it was one of the- I think
baby
it was
child.
like either the first thing or one of the first things I did. So young.
Baby
Oh
child
my
in this
gosh.
music video, and then on
Yeah,
Neds
for Wonderful.
comes-
Yep. Yeah, it
comes
was
Art
that
Alexakis-
is nuts.
Art Alexakis,
Crazy.
yeah.
It was so crazy. He is the
He's
coolest
so cool.
voice ever. Like just speaking voice. I'm like,
He
what?
was so good on set.
So
he
good
was
on
so
set.
cool to us. Like, and he was a huge fucking rock star at the time.
And I saw him a couple years ago. After Margot, we reconnected, and he had an XM show or something
yeah.
for a minute. And I was like, you stay the coolest. Because you know,
Yeah.
sometimes you look back and you're like, did I just think he was the coolest?
No.
He was straight up the coolest. He like watched it, like he watched Margot, and he was like, I can't wait to show my daughters this. And then we just like caught up on life, and I was like, you are endlessly cool, like
Yeah.
just consistently cool.
Yeah.
And also how cool that Scott would like think to have like people like also Fabio. That
Oh,
hit me
Oh,
the other
Fabio
day.
was there.
Oh my
That was big.
gosh.
Your mama
Fabio.
loved- She loved that, right?
Oh, Barb was excited.
Barb was
Barbie.
excited.
I think
Yeah. Barb was
all
very
I think
excited.
all the mothers were.
Yeah,
Like,
they all got
that's
their
true.
little
Even though
Scott.
I'm like, guys, really?
Fabio?
Looks a bit like a horse.
Yeah.
In the wind.
Damn.
I don't know. I mean, horses are beautiful, Daniel. I don't know what you're talking
You're right.
about.
You're right. Wait, but was he shooting up? What? Not
was pretty
heroin,
big.
but
Yo,
whoa.
steroids.
Right.
Okay.
Tell
Had
us
to be.
about Margot.
It was just it was a reaction to being really tired of the industry and
Yeah.
not doing any of the things I wanted to do. And I just was like, I'm gonna write a really heightened version of my life and just do little tidbits of it. And I actually like forced myself to sit down and watch it the other day because it's like been quite a few years now. I was like really fucking proud of it.
Dude,
yeah,
you
I
should
was like,
be. It was
super-
really good.
Yeah, it was like
Six-
it was
six
also
episodes. 6,
I
8.
think I should know that, and I don't.
But
I
yeah,
think
it was a web series.
a web series.
that
Yeah. That
Carlie
we
wrote.
directed,
produced,
yeah,
starred.
Yeah. And kudos to my husband. It looks really good. And we had it was all out of pocket and it was like
Yeah.
no money, but Scott knows how to light a thing. So
Yeah.
people were like, God, how much did you spend on that? I'm like, so much, dude. You have
It was
no idea.
great. I
Thank
watched
you.
it while I was in
Thank
Arizona.
you.
It was great.
It's like a very specific type of humor. So it either like hits for you or it really doesn't hit for you. But it was definitely like me finding my
The Amazon
voice.
cart one. Yeah, that was the best. Did I just? Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
It's
You two have like such similar kind of vibes. Like you guys are awesome, and it's dope to see your energies again.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
remember it. I
Yeah.
Right
remember it.
on. Yeah.
Right? I know it's triggering.
You're,
it's triggering a memory. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
triggering a feeling of a memory.
Y'all are a
Yeah.
little powerhouse, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot. I still feel like I have some of the quirks or like the little like the things used at like teensy or like all this.
Shanus.
Right.
We made up a word.
Shayna.
Shitty and heinous.
Shitty and heinous together.
That is Shanus.
And I think we came up with it when we were looking for a dress, and everything was
and then it's
hideous.
Shanus.
It was like shitty and heinous, Shanus, and then like from then it just like.
Oh
and my
my
family
God.
still says Shanus in the right circumstance.
Like it's great. Now,
Shanus,
thank you for
yeah.
bringing that back to
Yep.
me. We had nicknames. I was Pinto, Parmy,
I forgot Parmy. Oh my god!
Right?
I do
Pinto
remember
and
that. I
Parmy.
have no idea why, but yes,
Like
I remember
Parmesan
that.
cheese type parmy?
I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, I
did
guess
I
those
really
aren't both
like
beans. Parmesan cheese. That
Parmy's not a bean.
wait, why does that
Parmy beans because Pinto.
Oh, Pinto and Barbie. I have no clue.
because I thought they were. It was off
to be fair,
beans.
when you said they're beans, I agreed, and then I thought, no, Parmesan is not a bean.
Oh my god.
Parmesan
maybe-
beans.
But what bean is parm? Nothing. Parm is only in Parmesan. I'm trying to
Right,
know.
right.
But I did also think they were both beans. So.
I Let's move on.
The homeschool system is
yes.
a wonderful
So-
thing.
Yes.
What does your life look like now?
I'm a mom.
She's a mom.
Ooh, mama.
A
It's
mother
a
and a
mo-
mom.
Yeah, I'm a mother.
And you married someone who now I love.
Yeah,
and
he's
is
the
one of
best.
my close friends.
Nice.
So thanks for
it's
that.
Those
cool,
photos?
Devin
He's
has
taken?
more glamour shots by your husband.
Can I tell you though? Now it gets to a point where it's like, oh yeah, like Dev's coming over doing a shoot, and I'm like, okay, is he gonna be naked again? Like, what's going on? Like, he sat on my
What's really going
stool
on?
with his bare tuchus,
I put my asshole on
You
her
spread the
stool.
cheeks out?
Yeah.
And then
When do those get dropped?
and also
I dropped them.
And I also want to say that I was pregnant at the time, and I was like, and I had a very symptomatic pregnancy. I was vomiting all the time. And I remember like walking in and being like, Devin, your butthole is on my stool. And you're like, it's fine. I'm like,
Listen.
when you left, ask Scott, it was like,
It was while I was still there. I saw it.
because I couldn't let that rot.
No, so what happened was
no way.
what happened was
Yeah,
listen,
God.
what had happened was
What had
what had happened was I had a big beard at the time. It was right before I was
I'm
going
sure
to
you did.
I had a big
was long
bush
enough
at
to
the
cover
time,
your Johnson?
and it was right before
Too weird.
I was gonna go finish Russ. So we were shooting like in like
Oh,
a
that's
cowboy hat
right.
and like this
You
poncho.
did have kind of a dope vibe going on. You really
yeah,
did.
no, that shoot was
It was. That
fire.
was probably one of my faves. Other
Same.
than the one at our old apartment.
Yes, with
That
the
was
hat,
cool too.
like outside. Yeah,
I was like, okay.
But no, the butthole one was I had this poncho.
Oh, so your top was covered.
I had a poncho. Yeah, top was covered. I had a poncho and a cowboy hat, and I just said, Scott and I are homies. So I was like,
and also, but like him, I walked in on him and Scott. They're like, yeah, this is great. And I'm like, there's an energy.
are your balls out?
Like, should I be here? Should I not? Should I? What's happening?
No, we were having a
Hi,
great time.
welcome here.
And then in this poncho, I think it was both of us. It was kind of like, wouldn't it be funny if I only had on the poncho and like
Very quickly.
like you see that like my ass is out, and we were both like, that's hilarious. Let's do it.
Devin's got a strange humor. Pochino was freaking Mayara, and then
Oh,
now
dear God. Dear God. Mayada.
Mayada. I'm sorry.
Mayada? Yeah.
Mayada. We're done. But Pochino, and then
Yeah.
now, wouldn't it be funny if I was butt naked with my asshole in your
Has
chair?
he ever asked
that
you to play?
shit's funny.
Has he ever asked you to play Pochino?
No. Tell her. Private
No,
game.
tell
Listen,
He's like, I played that
No,
once.
listen, I already regret bringing it up on the pod. There was a private moment. I shouldn't have told it. Mayada, I'm sorry.
Mayada, you're gonna have to come on the pod and explain yourself.
Listen, I shouldn't have told the story.
Can you say it in 30 seconds?
Yes, it's
and
friends.
I'll try not to.
It's friends smelling each other's farts. That's it.
No,
But-
they fart into tiny
But
containers.
you fart into
and
a
then
container
make each other
and
smell
then
it.
smell the container.
Well, I'd like to say you, like, I won't even openly fart around anyone, like even my husband of 300 years.
Are you
No,
serious?
yeah, I can't.
Are you out
What?
of your
Weird, that's
mind?
weird.
Like, I will make myself ill before I will.
You should try it.
Are you
Try it.
serious?
You've been together how many years with him? 12? 10? You won't fart in front
No,
of
you
Scott?
longer
gotta
than-
do it.
are you-
You
dude,
should.
like-
you have to.
Way long.
How
Yeah, a
old are
long
we?
time. Yeah.
You don't fart in front of your husband?
Guys, it's a problem for me.
That's a pro-
I won't even do it in front of my family. Like my parents, my mom, none of it.
Oh,
Carlie?
no, I never remember you
Dangerous.
ripping
It's
ass.
dangerous, Carlie.
Free the fart.
I know.
Yeah,
Fart right now.
Free the fart.
Fart right now.
Do you have a container that we're gonna make the fucking most of this if I'm gonna do
So
it.
Devin can play some Pochino. Look, he's
It's
excited.
like in what's the Zach Braff's first film?
Garden State?
Remember when he
Incredible
like
film.
collects her tear? You could collect my
Your fart?
first public fart.
Fart.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fart. I wonder if over time you'd see particles like start to.
All right.
Like, do you ever think it would
So,
become
like little organisms start to form. or
right,
something?
right,
Yeah,
right,
Well,
right?
as you said, ferment.
I mean, yes, a little fermentation.
You put a little piece of
Sprinkle
cheese
some
in
yeast
there?
Oh, yeah.
Parm,
Some
yeah.
parm. There you go. You know what's up.
Some pinto and parm in there.
Pinto is
it
a
up.
cheese, right?
That's wild.
It was cheeses.
Oh,
Cheese
they were
were
both
both
cheeses. Oh,
cheeses.
okay.
Wait, is pinto a cheese?
Nope.
Oh my God, I sold that
Pimento.
The pimento. That's
Oh
cool.
my god. All
And-
right. Well,
and-
can I ask you lastly, what is the quote you're working with right now? Because you're a quote lady. You know what I mean? You've given me some of the best quotes I ever had. You made me this box once with a quote on the bottom, and I like remember you like writing quotes on your wall. Like, what quote is like in your belly right now?
I'd have to have sleep, Lindsay, to give you a quote.
To give me a good quote.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, oh, now I feel like this new identity emerging. I'm like, I'm the quote.
I am
You are a quote lady. Total quote
Maybe
lady.
even a tattoo you might have that is a quote. Sure, you got some tattoos with quotes.
I do have one. Memory. Babies steal your brains. I
heard that.
They really do. I'm not gonna remember the exact quote, but what comes to mind, because Scott and I have been talking about this a lot, is the movie About Time. Have you guys seen it?
one of my
Dear
favorites.
God, rip it out.
One of my
and
favorites.
It's one of the most beautiful films of
So
all time.
gorgeous.
And have you seen it though? Because I don't want to ruin it.
Ruin it.
It's fine, I'm not gonna
Ruin
watch
it.
it.
He's not gonna watch it. Richard Curtis.
There's like a time travel element, but essentially like
name?
it's truly one of the most like beautiful films you could possibly watch. And we watched it while I was pregnant, and now I'm like, now that we have a boy too, I'm like, I don't know that I can watch that again, or I will just melt into a. But it's really beautiful. But essentially at the end, there's like a lot of things happen, and he talks about he starts to relive days because he's like a time traveler. And he essentially gets to a point where it's like live your life in a way where you don't have to live it twice. Like like literally feel every moment fully. And I am so in the practice of that right now where it's like, it's so easy to be so fucking tired or just all over the place, especially with a baby and all these things. But it's like, I constantly am coming back to just like, you're living this once, like you're living it once, feel it fully, whether, even when it sucks, like feel how much it sucks for a second. And then just let it go and move on to the next thing. So that has been like, it's not like a gorgeous quote, but that has really been like where I'm at is like just constantly like when I feel myself getting frustrated and just like, it's like, nope, like this also, I'm creating a childhood for someone. So I'm also like that.
Responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter if I'm having a shitty day because he doesn't know what that means. So
Right.
it's an interesting,
He'll probably know what a
space.
Shanus day is if you just like drop
Oh,
that.
I think
He'll
he
know
already
from-
knows
you're
what a
right, right.
Shanus
That's in
day
his
is for
DNA.
sure. He's like, when I'm in a diaper too long, it's a
Just
Shanus.
fucking Shanus.
It's fucking Shanus, mom. And I'm like, I get it.
Well, and with him too, like with babies, like there's so many firsts. Like he's gonna never be the same, right? He's
It's
constantly
insane.
with Luna, right? Like
Yeah.
they're constantly becoming this new expanded being. So I'm sure that's a good reminder of like be here.
No,
dude.
literally,
Don't
I
miss
was
it.
talking to my best friend Danny last night. We were talking about her baby's almost 2, and we were saying like the amount of milestones that happen in this first year. It's almost like whiplash. It's like you're all of a sudden you're like, oh, now you're seated up. Like now you can get yourself up on your own, and
Right.
you couldn't yesterday. Like
Right.
it's that intense. And then I'm over here like, was the last time I had a milestone? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds nuts, but really, when you're watching
when you're in your 30s,
child
yeah, what's
have
fucking-
one almost like weekly or daily, and things like you go to the doctor like in a month, and they're like, he's grown 2 inches, and you're like, when? We were just here, like. So there's like these spurts and these like their brains where you're like, it feels insane, and then you do get older, and you're like, they do slow down. We are still having our own, but it's so much more based on like. Self-development and whether you want to grow or not.
It's like those outer planets, like orbits.
What about
instead of
me,
those
Doc?
inner
How am I
planet,
growing?
like quick.
You have scoliosis now. That's a thing.
That's a milestone.
You have IBS and scoliosis. Damn it. I shit myself. It's a milestone.
I didn't shit myself. New
That's a
milestone.
Nice.
But maybe we just need to make more things milestones,
Right?
Maybe-
Oh,
You can make every day a milestone.
Take that quote. And
oh yes.
And eat it.
She's coming with her own. See, exactly.
quote lady.
Yeah, we like to end our episodes with a little
With a
tippy tip
tip.
to the audience.
I kind of asked you your quote thing,
I know,
so
that
that
was-
might have led you into your tippy tip.
I feel like that
But
is-
that's
It's a lot of
I
pressure.
feel like she.
My tiptoe. Yeah, just I feel like live each day. If you could have the option to live the day twice,
Hey.
and you stopped and decided, nope, I'm just gonna do it once, what would be different? How would you live it? I don't know. Does that
Love
make sense?
Yes.
I love
Leave
that.
us with a, like a perspective. Like they
Yeah.
can answer that. I don't know.
Also, go watch About Time. It's a
Oh
fucking
my god!
gorgeous movie,
But
man.
know that
Truly,
you
it's
will
gorgeous.
cry. You'll laugh because it's also very funny.
How crazy though! It was the trailer like made it like this is
It
a
was-
typical rom com.
It could not have been promoted worse. And
Yeah.
that's why I think like so few people have seen it.
I
If
know.
you've seen it, it's like if you know, you know.
That's
If
how
you've
I'm at.
seen it,
It's one of my
like you're
favorite
like,
movies.
oh,
Yeah,
Scott,
it's
Scott is
near and dear to
literally
my heart.
obsessed with it. And I'm like, we can't watch it now. But it
Yeah.
is so.
But it got promoted as a standard, like the trailer was like standard rom com.
Yep.
It's Domhnall Gleeson and Rachel McAdams, and they just made it like standard rom com.
But it's just not at all.
It's not. It's a film about life, like the whole
and
life.
you will,
your
and
whole
I don't
life.
know anyone who's seen it who hasn't like been a little changed by it.
Yeah.
Like you kind of, it just like stays with you a little bit.
Yeah, Richard Curtis is amazing. He's who wrote, directed it. He did Love Actually, Pirate Radio. He's got an amazing kind of like legacy. You are still writing.
I am. Yeah. Like,
Are you
that-
still acting, or you're fully done?
right now, it's weird. I was thinking about it. Right now, I'm not, and I
Right.
have so much relief around it. Weirdly, partially just because like postpartum is such a like potent fucking time. And it's like, I still, there's moments where I can completely feel the reality of like, I created a child. I brought a child into this world, and that's incredible. And then other moments that feels so disassociated from it, where it's like, how can you actually get your brain around it? And then you look at your body and you're like, yep, there's the signs that things happened. Thank you. And it's a weird middle, because I like, depending on the minute, one day I'm just like in absolute gratitude. Like, I can't believe what my body's capable of. And then I'm also angry by the same like proof of it. It's it's a very weird space. And I feel like feeling the pressure to be seen in such an objectified way right now is like not on the menu for me. And like, right. And part of the reason I did take a step back is because writing has been infinitely more fulfilling for me right now. I miss acting for acting's sake. You guys know what I'm saying?
Of
Like,
course.
The business, I'm like, I don't miss a second of the business.
Yeah.
But I did have like one of those like little feelings come over me the other day where I was like, oh, I miss like the vulnerability of literally an acting class where it's like, this isn't going anywhere. This is just about like bravery and vulnerability and like how deep are we going to go into those like unspeakable whatever. I miss that, but right now I'm just bizarrely relieved to not be feeling like I walk in a room and someone's job is to be like, you know what I mean?
Judge
like,
you, judge.
yeah, like
nope,
I'm good.
Yep, nope, yep.
Yeah, and so much. I'm writing all the time, and then I like consult with writers and stuff like that, and it's like the absolute best thing ever. I love it so much, and I do feel like at some point I'm like gonna start to be like, all right, I want to do this again, but I don't know what it's gonna look like because I just don't miss the business.
Yeah.
It's hard to miss the business.
And I mean,
of
maybe it is that thing of like where just you act in the things that you decide to make. Like
Totally.
Margot is a testament, dude. You should
Yeah.
be proud of that.
Yeah.
Like that's something where you go, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
Margot fully works. It's funny.
Yeah.
It looks good. There's a tone. There's a vibe. The writing's good, right? Like you go like, oh, I can do this. Like it should feel like that. It should feel like
one of the
a point of
wildest
pride.
things about Margot was I didn't send that to anyone to be like, does this funny? I just did like a true fuck it, because there was a part of me that was like, I need to know if I'm good at this, and I'm gonna find out very quickly. Like it's either gonna be like, oh, Carlie,
Yeah.
sweet girl, or it's gonna be like, no, dude, that was funny or that resonated, whatever. And it was really cool to have the people who did watch it be like, that was fucking funny, or I know exactly whatever. So I was like, okay, it was a huge changing point of identity for me. It was weird to like strip act. It's weird how like you can be like, I've been an actor for so long, and it's like, okay, but that was a weird like uncomfy switch, and now I'm like, yeah, I'll act again at some point, but it's just not.
If any listeners at home have interest in screenwriting, check out Blank Page Coaching on Instagram. That's Carlie's screenwriting coaching page program. It's support all around all things screenwriting. It's a craft I'm really fascinated in. I love talking about it. I love learning about it. Blank Page Coaching is great. You see that? We're
Can
tapped
we
in.
get your husband's trauma
husband's
real quick?
Puncture
what?
wound in his body.
Oh, yeah. We need that.
Yeah.
So I was in our office working with a client, and and my husband was walking our baby and dog, and then I get a text from him that's like, hey, like weirdly like, hey, so I'm bleeding. I don't know how serious it is yet. Could you maybe, I'm feeding Ziggy. Could you maybe come in? And but I know you're, and I literally was like one of those things where I was like, well, okay. So I was like, you know what? I'll be right back. And wonderful client. She's like, great. I go in there. Scott is just in his little boxer briefs feeding our baby. And he's like, I'm bleeding like a lot. Like I'm bleeding a lot. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you got to look at it. And I was like, okay. And so he pulled it down and like a hole, a black hole. I would say like an inch and a half to 2 inches from his butthole. But it could have
So
been.
it was on the inner buttock.
Yeah, it was on the inside of the
Not the anus, but it's on the
gooch.
Oh,
Sensitive.
that's
Tender area.
That
Yeah, so wait, listeners at home, he was jumping over a fence basically.
It has like kind of some spike on it, but like you've seen it. It's like
you know, at
wider
the top
spike.
of a fence, there's like pokies, and rather than texting Carlie to let him
just
in
be
the
like,
gate,
hey, can you come open the gate?
he put the child and dog down and said, I'm a grown man, I can jump over a fence.
He's like, I've done it before, and I'm like,
and
okay.
instead, he stabbed his own ass.
He stabbed his own ass, but what I will give him, I have to give him this, because I was
Go
like,
ahead.
you could be still hanging from that if not for your instincts.
That's just reflex.
And also, it's not like, I mean, it's like
It's high.
It's maybe 5, 6
Yes,
feet.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
No,
like,
you
it's
gotta
not
jump
nothing.
over that fucking thing.
So he
Keyword
slipped
over.
and then like punctured and then pushed up. and then kind of like for 2 seconds did a dangle because the rip in his pants is hysterical. It tells a story. It's like, it's long. So you know it was like and like our recycling bin was like turned over. So then he's like, so I was like, did you fall on that? It was wild. And so, so when I looked at it and I saw a black hole, I thought, this isn't an at-home treatment thing. So
Yeah, that's
then we had
deep.
to
When you're
look
seeing
at-
the
yeah,
black,
yeah.
it's not just red blood
It really was disturbing. So we found an urgent care, and he said he's like, everyone is having an absolute blast with me right now. But he kind of loves it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, men are like,
That's a badge of honor.
Like he's wearing. At one point, he was like, well, not all heroes wear. I'm like, not all heroes wear fence. You
jumped
chose to
over
not
your own
call me
fence.
to unlock a door, and you jumped a fence, landed on.
But he got Ziggy through the gate, so I mean, he got the job done.
And he fed him. To be fair, he
There
was
you go.
bleeding
a
out,
lot
and
of
he's
ways to
eating
skin a
it.
cat, you know.
In his final breath, here's your
My
oatmeal.
Listen, as
God.
long as no one has like serious
Wait,
permanent damage,
is he having
injuries
trouble
like that
sitting?
just
Money.
make me laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's having trouble sitting.
Yes.
Oh, see,
No.
that makes me laugh. That's so funny.
But he's not having trouble shitting. I hope.
He was terrified for the first.
Oh,
I
And
bet that would be a little
What-
scary.
You're like, babe,
Came
I've been
out.
there.
Comes out the wrong hole.
I literally was like, do this breath. Like,
Oh, that's wild.
it's like just labor breathing.
Yeah, I bet he had to see on that first shit, like, did I puncture a new asshole or is this just an injury?
Oh my god.
But also just like all I kept thinking about was like the infection of it all.
No,
but,
the
he's fine, but
infection
he got
of it
checked
all.
today and he's fine.
Great.
So, don't do that.
I'm
Hey, don't do that. Don't
Oh,
do
man.
that.
I'm so glad you remembered to catch that
But it
before
was,
the end
I
of this
will
episode.
say,
That
it
shit
was
is
a
so
best
funny.
case, worst case. Like we kept sitting there and I'm like, it could have gone right up.
And that's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
not,
and like
I
he
know.
might not have like
I know,
totally
I
lived
know,
depending on the
I know.
situation.
He could
I know.
still be on that fence.
Dude, that is like,
I'm like, I left him.
Imagine if she was. Oh no. Yeah. it was
Yeah, the
saying
whole
if you
thing
weren't
happened
at
'cause she
home,
wasn't-
but he
yeah.
No, but to be
reflexed.
But what if she
fair,
was- yeah.
but here's the weird
got
part.
off.
He did it as if I was not home. So he could have done it without me being home because he would have just thought like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's tough. I mean, he
Make
survived.
it make sense.
He survived.
He survived. He's a
Oh my
survivor
gosh.
and a hero. So
Yep.
Not all
Oh my
heroes
God.
wear gay.
Guys, like
Hey.
hero, baby. Yeah, that. Here goes my hero.
Shout out Scott
With
Simic.
a hole in his tuchus.
Go Eagles, man.
Simmock.
Go Birds. Simmock.
Devon, you've known us too long.
Devon.
Scott, say it with me.
Simmock.
Simmock.
Mayada. It's Mayada.
Ooh.
Fair.
Yeah.
Shout out Scott Simmock.
No.
Simmock.
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 No, Devon.
He still says Simic, and I don't know. That's been the last name for how many years now? 13 years?
That's Carlie's last
I
name.
know. I was
Yeah,
at the wedding.
legally.
Yeah.
I sang at your wedding.
just
We
giving
didn't
him a
even
hard
get to
time,
that.
man.
I
You sang at my
Carlie's
wedding, but
wedding.
you can't.
You sang at the wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
did.
sang at Carlie's wedding.
And it was so profound that like truly, the people who are seemingly often like unmoved by something, like literally people came up to us after and was like, that was the most beautiful. And I was like, yeah, I know, he's the shit. Like
That's-
it really
that's
was
why you asked me
so
to do it.
special. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we didn't even get fuck. Yeah, there's a song I have. It's out there. It's on Spotify. It's called Temple, and
It's
and
the best. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a song that I wrote that was like kind of this prayer that Carlie knew, and like the recording's beautiful. Go check it out on Spotify if you want. But really, that song was always about playing it live because it just created this space where everyone could drop in. There's a lot of space in the song. It's like
It's very
fucking-
meditative.
It's
Yeah.
it's kind of that. So there's like a lot of silence and space, and yeah, like opening your wedding with that was
It
a
was the
real
best.
fucking treat.
That was like the first detail that Scott and I knew. We were like, well, now that we're engaged, Devon should sing.
Oh, and you guys, you fucked me up because you walked down the
Yes.
aisle to Leon Bridges' River.
Yes.
And now anytime, it was already one of my favorite songs. Anytime I hear it, I think of your fucking gorgeous ass. So beautiful, coming to marry Scott, like someone I love.
Simmock.
Simmock.
Yeah, hey, babe, what's the last name?
I don't even know. Who's Scott? But coming down the aisle to that song, whenever I hear it now, I go back, I'm transported to your wedding, and man, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it brings tears to my eyes right now. I'm like, oh my.
And then we used the guy who married us. Literally, they didn't tell me, but they used some of your lyrics of the song to like
In their
marry us
vows.
in our vows. And I was like, even I was like, oh shit, this is cool. And then afterwards,
Yeah.
you were like,
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I think you could see right. He didn't tell me. I sang my song, and then Scott and Maceo decided, their officiant decided with none of us knowing to use some of those lyrics in their actual vows. And I was like in the crowd when they said, so hey, we're gonna use, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I thought you were mad that you didn't get like royalties or
Oh,
something.
definitely. I was like, Maceo, you gotta pay me now, dog.
Or like credit.
Yeah. No, I got
No, he stood up. Everyone, me. And then
yeah, I
ruined the
pushed
whole
them
wedding.
aside. I was like, those are my I'm special.
You're married to me. All of you.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah. Fuck.
This
We
has
could
been
talk
a
forever.
fucking pleasure, dude.
This felt like 5 minutes.
I really did.
5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, when you guys
Damn.
said we hit the time, I was like, damn, really?
Yeah,
Fuck.
no, we've been talking, I feel like 20 minutes.
Carlie, we love you.
Yeah,
Thanks
we
so
love
much
you,
for
Carlie.
being
Yeah,
here.
thanks for being here.
Does anyone ever call you Carl?
My childhood best friend calls me Carl.
Oh, nice.
Carl.
I like never see him, and then when I do, he's like Carl, and I'm like, there it is.
Carl.
And I think of The Walking Dead.
I think of
Carl,
Walking
and it's
Dead.
like the
Carl!
It's like Carl.
Nice. Nice.
Do you have a tippy tip, Dan?
A tip, man. A tip. Hey, reconnect with friends, man. It's always fun. It's awesome, dude. It was great because you guys had a really great super friendship, and it's just great. It's great.
Yeah,
It's great
it was
to
like
see
a
you guys.
super food, but for friendship. Love
super
that.
food. But for
No,
friendship.
you look literally amazing. Seriously, like keep, holding space for yourself like you are. Like it's great. You look amazing, and like I'm sure your little baby is so like
so fucking
beautiful.
cute.
Pretty edible, I guess.
Yeah,
He's so fucking
yeah.
Wow.
But
Thank
as
you.
joyous as ever. I mean, nothing's changed.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You got a little tippy tip?
There's an easier way to get in, usually. You know what I mean? As somebody who's also impaled themselves, not while totally sober, on one of those things, it was near my V-hole. It's just not worth it, dude. Either wait for somebody to come or just call and interrupt the session.
It's powerful advice.
right?
If you're
Then I
not a
think more
ninja,
people would listen.
don't
Right,
jump over the fence.
Don't do it.
If you take anything from this here today, wait.
My tip is my tip is
Are you okay?
Always bare your butthole when,
my tip
when
is
the person who's helping
get
you make
naked
art.
with friends. It's fun.
Okay. Well,
my God.
okay.
Especially your friends' husbands while
put a-
cameras are out.
You could have put a towel down or something.
You could have.
I mean,
no,
for
he
real.
could have. You could have cleaned it, babe. You
he
could've
just
done
got up
that.
and walked
You
away.
were
What a
in
diva.
there wiping it before I was even done.
Likely story.
Likely story, right?
Likely story.
Also, that photo shoot is fire. That's my tip is go check out my page where I've tagged her husband and the photo shoot of me, like black and white with a beard. Incredible.
Nice.
Love you, man.
Love
Great
you,
to
girl.
see you. Baby, yeah, that's it. Fucking love this. I love this. Goodbye. See you next week,
See ya.
friends.
See you next week. Subscribe. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching this week's episode. Guys,
shout out.
is it time for
Super Friends Dance.
Thank you for being patrons. We love you. Special shout out. Thanks for making this
Love you.
this podcast possible. Go to patreon.com/nedspod
That part.
if you want more from
That
us
part.
and to support us. We love you.
Love
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.